One last 5 minutes on course, kids.
We're on to the next phase, we're getting ready. The staircase is arriving from Preferred Joinery about 1 o'clock. There's 2 flights, one for the loft, one for down here. I just want to make sure I'm getting this downstairs ready. We just smashed the roof on this morning, me and Pete. And then all we're going to do is hopefully get the top floor staircase fitted. That'll allow John then to crack on with the plasterwork then onto top floor. So. See, all you office fellas out there, you don't know what it's like to have it hard. Don't ever moan to me that you boys in the office have got it hard. Just spend one day on site with me and Pete and then you know what the gag is. see what I'm doing here now? I'm just using the saw because the hand saws, power saws, just don't get the right angle. So that's the angle I need. So what I've done is just going to set the saw up now. There we go. And then let's eye that through, Pete. That look good there, mate?
Pretty good.
Tell you what I need to do is bring that fence now right tight, like that. That's right tight. And let's have a look, Pete, see if we need to tweak it, yeah? Do is put this on the actual ply up there, mark it, and then all I've got to do is give Pete the measurement from that cut angle there to obviously the square edge where it puts to the wall. Job done, easy peasy. Your length of your ply needs to be 1740, mate.
1740.
So I'll make it 1725. With obviously the portable handsaw, it'll only do like 47 degrees. So when you go down here, you can see 47 leaves a bit of a gap. We don't want that, so good. So what we do then is mark the angle. You see the angle? And the way we do that is you put the ply on here like that, level it off so it's nice and level, and then just get a level and then mark it up like that. So obviously now when that goes on, you can see, look, it's going to fit straight across there, but there's no gaps. Beautiful, isn't it? And you can see up here what I've done is I'm using the brickwork because the brickwork is nice and level. When I'm gauging it out to get it right, all I've done is then leveled across there like that. And now that's going to come across over here. So that means that gives me my point. So all I do is measure off the batten now. Measure off the batten up here, and it's actually 60. There you go, 66 mil. There you go, 66, and my first cut's going to come, which is here. Measure 66 mil. So it means I can take a measurement then from there to there to Pete, which is 245 mil. And then that one's 300 mil. And then the measurement of the ply board, because obviously that length is critical, because that's where that angle there. Anybody who doesn't know, give James a follow on his Instagram account. What is it, Jim?
Journey of Jams.
Journey of Jams. So we're going to put the link down below, because now on one of the properties that we bought, we did a deal with the property. We got like 3 vehicles with it. And one of them, well, they're all ambulances. One was the show, one was the Mitsubishi, but one was actually a big ambulance. And I said to Jimbo, why don't you have that now as a works van? So we give it to him, and then he's now sorting it all out. He's been stood there for about 2 years. So happy day. So I'll help him out with it, and he's smashing it. He's had to pay about 147 quid for a new battery. He's now getting it MOT'd, and then once it's MOT'd, he's going to start sorting it all out, and then he's going to take you on that journey. So definitely follow the link down below. You'll follow James's journey on doing the ambulance and then kitting it all out and getting all his tools set up in it as well. What I'm about to do now at the moment down there is put the boards nice and wide. They come to like a normal standard 2.4 metre length. They put that special angle that I need. Obviously, what they'll then do with them 2 pieces, the first one, they'll put that 300 mil here. They'll then measure the length of the board, so it'll be 1725. 1725 here. They'll then measure them 245 mil, and then that's just getting through the actual. Now, if anybody wants to buy a really good cordless, you'll spend a little bit more money, but I personally believe Festool did 2 things and did 2 things really, really well. The first one was this cordless, and the reason I love this cordless is because you can put your weight through the actual centre part of the cordless. I don't like cordlesses where you have to hold down here. You know, if you're putting a lot of fixings in, it's really, really nice to be able to get your weight behind that. You can then push in, make it nice and solid and get square to the screw. The second thing, now obviously this one's 18 volt. The first one I ever bought was 12 volt, and that was like when they first ever came out. I've still got those 12 volts. In fact, I actually gave them to Elliot because he really liked the cordless and said, look, why don't you have a couple of these 12 volts that I got, because I've got like 4 or 5 of these. And so he's got those now. And the other thing they did really, really well, when they first came out first of all, they did a plunge saw. That was massively game changing, that was. Everybody then copied them, absolutely brilliant kit. Every other bit of kit I've used the Festool, I've got to say, I've not been really happy with. Obviously, the jigsaw I had, which was Festool, didn't really get on with it, wasn't brilliant. Obviously, they probably changed, I mean, that was quite a few years ago. And the planer, didn't really rate the planer either. But obviously, there was a long, long time ago when I had the jigsaw, and I don't really bother with those. The thing is it's definitely going to be the future cordless. It just makes life so much easier. You've got Hilti, you've got Milwaukee, you've got Makita, you've got DeWalt, and they're all great brands. Absolutely. My personal favourite at the moment is definitely the Festool cordlesses and plunge saws. The only thing they don't do, now you can see here, I've actually originally, right, this is absolutely brilliant. Always wanted one of these, but I didn't want Makita. I actually wanted Skill, the American brand, because they've been doing my first ever power saw, which was 110, was actually Skill, called Golden Hood, the Golden Hood one. Now, a lot of the old school guys out there will remember those, because those were the leading heads for doing all roofing. Nobody else used anything else. And then they suddenly disappeared off the market. Now, definitely, this is great, really love it. Worm dry, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's worm dry, but it's just sort of great tool. I love it's got this hook on it. I really wish this hook was a little bit bigger, because look, it does so much. It does work all right. That's right. Now take that back. But great saw, nicely balanced as well. Yeah.
No, go on, stop talking.
Stop talking. Okay. Go, mate. Okay, baby.
We'll last 5 minutes on Pro Skip.
I know. Smashing it, mate. I'll put a roof on today as well as fit a staircase. There you go. That's how we roll here, baby. What we're going to do, we're going to now screw into that batten there, you see, or what we can do is screw into the joist line which is there, so there we go. Okay, mate, right, so what we're going to do, same again, look, the measurement there is 66mm, which is lovely. So measure 66mm down there, Jumbo. We're going to cut it slightly longer, mate. We're going to cut it 1810, okay? What you got, mate? So that's 66 to 202mm. 202mm. So the other end's 202mm, mate, okay? So definitely got some great stuff. Festool, you've got Makita, DeWalt. I mean, I think everybody's probably, I think out of the two, DeWalt and Makita, I think they're going to be really, really close. A lot of people like DeWalt, like Pete. A lot of people like Makita, like John. Me, I'm Festool, Makita, but I really would have not used, use Makita lights as well. I'd probably actually, I'd love to use some of the Mafal products as well. We'll see what they're about. But yeah, it's sort of, it's really what you're using. The key thing is I was always taught you've got to make sure the tool, whatever you use, you're really, really comfortable, because it's got to feel like an extension of your arm. So it's all feels natural to use, okay? The other thing is saws. If you're apprentices out there, if you're going to be buying saws, don't be buying 20-inch jack saws. They're for roofers or plumbers or brickies. They are DIY saws, yes, they are DIY saws. If you're a chippy, you only buy a 22-inch saw. And there's different types of saws. There's a panel saw, there's a core saw which is for roofing, yeah? So you need to buy yourself the right saw to do the right job, okay? When you buy a saw, you've got to be careful, because a lot of them all now, in the olden days when I first started, we had to sharpen our saws by hand, and the other thing is, like, when these go dull, it's better just to throw them away and get a new saw, because one thing with a dual saw, that's when your tendency to then suddenly snag, you'll then cut your hand or you'll do something not quite right. But there are two types of saw. There's the 22-inch chippies, that's all you should use. 22-inch saw, nothing else, not the 20-inch saws. And then the different types of teeth. Panel saw, thank you mate. And then obviously a coarse saw for cutting thicker timber. One sec Pete, I'm just going to... Ah look, that does it. Perfect. It works.
We're fouling on the brickwork here. Then
yeah, no, just push it.
Back to my wife, can I?
Okay, no, just push it in. See if she'll push. No, okay, just one sec.
No. That kicks you out.
Yeah, no, just lift it up. Lift it up a second. That's it. There we go. Right, so we're going to even it up now. We're going to even it up, yeah. So what size gap? So this is a great one. Got to scribe it to the wall. What you don't want to do is then not take out evenly. So what's the gap you got up there, Jimbo? I've got about 6 mil. 10 mil. Okay, let me just pull it up a bit more this way. There you go. What's that? Yep. That looks about good. Right. Yep. 6, yeah. There. Right, do me a favour now, Jimbo. Let's just scribe this wall. Yeah?
Yeah. Pete's just given me a simple packer, so we can then draw around it, scribe this then to the wall. Sharp. Get an engine look, can you? You want a sharp pencil? Come on. Get in, boom, boom. There you go, Jimbo. There you go. Take the pencil on that completely, Pete. Yeah, you need jiggy. You can use your power saw if you wanted to, but it should be easier. So I'm going to show you the scribe to the wall. Get the jigsaw. So a quick way of doing it, Jim. So to get the jigsaw, yeah? Obviously don't drop the screw like that. Doing the glasses on. Get the old goggles on. Old goggles on. Can't see anything like a steamed up kid. Push it up, Jim. There you go, Jim. You're in. How's that, mate? Is that good, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. So, that's how you do it. You're good, you are. Alright, mate. Just been doing it a few years. Good.